It's SportsCenter right now. Nabil Kareem with you. Kevin Durant was a big get for Brooklyn, but a tough break for Golden State, especially with Klay Thompson's injury. However, the Warriors, they didn't waste time filling the gap, signing D'Angelo Russell. And by the sounds of it, it doesn't seem like it's a short-term fix.
We didn't sign him with the intention of just trading him. We haven't even seen him play in our uniform yet, and a lot of people have us already trading him. That's not how we're viewing it. Let's just see what we have. Let's see what he is. Let's see how he fits. But so much of our sport, at least, and maybe other sports, is what are you doing next? We're going to figure out what we're doing now. I haven't seen a lot of our guys play. We haven't seen them play with some of our core players, and we won't even know till Klay comes back how that fits. We're just happy that we got a young player that has a lot of upside, in our opinion, and we're excited at the possibility of him in our uniform.
So, yes, we haven't seen D'Angelo play with the Warriors, but we did see him ball out last season. He was real good. Russell had career highs in points, assists, and shooting from deep, making him an all-star for the very first time. Get you back to first take.
Nabil, thank you so much. Ryan, we'll start with you. What should the Warriors do with D'Angelo Russell?
You got to keep D'Angelo Russell. I mean, I got to credit Bob Myers for this. This may have been the biggest save or the biggest signing in free agency that Kevin Durant was even able to work this thing out, and they get D'Angelo Russell back by a sign and trade because it worked. The Warriors had to get younger. They were literally in danger of missing the playoffs. You didn't know how much Steph would be able to play without a team behind him. He only played around 60-some odd games last season. Draymond, you see his health essentially in decline. And you got young, fresh legs. You have a 22-year-old all-star who can carry the load. When I say carry the load, what does he bring to the table? D'Angelo Russell is a playmaker, a guy who can legitimately run the pick and roll.
You love dudes who can shoot off the bounce.
You already know it, brother. And this man can shoot off the bounce a deep three. We maybe count on our hand as many guys who can efficiently go get a three-point shot off the bounce at a high playoff level. Well, D'Angelo Russell's one of them. Big questions there maybe. Hey, maturity. Well, he's literally with the poster model citizen of the league who's going to mentor him in Steph Curry. So if I'm D'Angelo Russell, I follow Steph Curry. I see the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he eats. Whatever he does, you go there. This couldn't have been probably the biggest move in free agency.
It was
going out and getting D'Angelo Russell.
We agree that Myers pulled a rabbit out of a hat there, because to wind up with a young asset like D'Angelo Russell when you're just losing KD, that's a great move. Hats off to Bob Myers. Sounds like a guy who's going to trade D'Angelo Russell. I mean, he sounds like an example when he goes, well, we don't know how he's going to fit yet. Look, when I say it's to acquire an asset like D'Angelo Russell, that's what he is. He's an asset. He's a trade that he proves me wrong, and Myers' patience and is actually being honest, like, let's see how he fits in. But this is a dude with the Lakers who ratted out teammates on, and all types of stuff that destroyed the locker room. So they got rid of him. This is a dude who in Brooklyn, as Will Cain pointed out on this show to Stephen A. Smith and me, tried to get weed onto an airplane in a liquid container. The one place you can't hide it
young fella.
is the place that they're going to look. What's wrong? They must check that container. This is not, and this is a dude who, look, do you think D'Angelo Russell entered the league and maybe has remained a bit entitled for a young player who hasn't done much yet? Who was the number 2 pick in the draft?
I would say he's been humbled.
He's been humbled. Maybe, but boy, he's going to have to be really humbled, I think, to fit into that locker room. So, is D'Angelo Russell special in any one area? I think he's a special passer.
Yeah, he can pass. He can play. He can run pick and roll.
He can run the pick and roll well. There are guys who can run it better than him. He got burned at the point, really, and was able to step forward when Dinwiddie got hurt, right? I mean, he wasn't the first option there even. He was lucky to make the All-Star team. It is not certain that he will ever make another All-Star team. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. He's made one as an alternate. This is not Steph Curry. This is one guy we've never seen before. Klay Thompson, one of the greatest shooters of all time. Draymond Green, along with Steph Curry, redefined the modern NBA as his pick-and-roll partner and do everything on defense guy. No, D'Angelo Russell is unlikely to stick with the Warriors. He's much more likely to be used in a trade. He is an asset.
Should he be traded, though? I can't stand when you do this, Max. Like, you take these soft stances. I don't know where you are on the issue. I get the uncertainty in Bob Myers, but should they trade him or not?
Yes.
For
How's
what?
that? Wait.
For what?
I'm just curious. Do you know where I stand on the issue now?
Why?
You understand where I stand on the issue now, right? It's not,
I don't know where you stand, because you're talking about how good he is. You're talking about how good he is on one hand, and then you're talking about, his off-the-court stuff. And guess what? This guy matured with the Nets. He had obviously an all-star year, whatever asterisks or whatever you want to put under him.
It looks clear to me.
I trade him. Did I do it? So that's too soft.
All right, look, we're talking about trades right here, though. But what happens if he does stay with the Warriors? How will he fit into that system?
Well, I mean, Steph is really a two guard who's too small to play the two. The ball doesn't stick with him at all, and so D'Angelo Russell as a combo backcourt mate might work that way. By the way, when I say trade him, for who? I don't mean this moment. Before the trade deadline, at some point, you get a whole bunch of good stuff.
Let me help you out here. Let me help you out here. When you have a talent, arguably, easily the greatest shooter of all time, you can argue that guy who changed the way we play basketball for a generation ever.
When you say we.
Yeah, something you didn't do. 10 years in the NBA, Max. How do you say that you do not want to assemble the best talent around him? And the one thing the Warriors have showed with Curry, Clay, KD, you can never have enough firepower. In fact, it's the big mistake that Oklahoma City made. They had 3 MVPs on the same team. They didn't think there was enough basketballs. Look at that roster. Tell me who else is going to go out and create a shot for themselves.
That's why he could be useful in the first half of the season. That's
they
right.
need somebody else.
You're right.
Okay, let me slow down.
But he will be traded from this team.
Here.
Likely this season.
When you only saw Steph Curry, because this is a sample size in the NBA Finals, what happened? What did that Toronto defense do to Steph from a strategic standpoint?
Sure.
Did you see 2 and 3 guys jumping out at him, double, triple, a boxing one? X.
And it worked.
He played against a box.
And it worked.
But why did it work?
Because there was no other offense on the floor.
No other offense on the floor. What is D'Angelo Russell? Safe to say, playmaker, right?
Sure.
Playmaker. So without Clay out, even Clay being back, this roster desperately needs a playmaker, and they need to get younger, and D'Angelo Russell brings both to the Warriors.
And yet, I'm telling you right now, he will surely be traded because, number one, while he is a playmaker and a good young ascending player, he is not a great player, and it is unclear, in fact, doubtful he will ever become a great player. 1. 2, how does his personality fit in that locker room? My guess is not well based on his history. Past being prologue, right? So if the personality's not a fit and the skills, you're right, it gives you a secondary playmaker, which the team needs in the short run. But in fact, more different teams probably value higher because they need a point guard or a playmaker in the first place. Then the Warriors are much more likely to use him as an asset to bring back something they more need or better value.
I don't know what more they need or what realistic they can have. Let me ask you something. Would it be safe to say that D'Angelo Russell is guilty by association? You put him in an immature locker room with the Lakers, youth, it's not going to work.
Well, he was the ringleader of the immature, though.
Okay. You take him to the Nets, you place him around guys like Ed Davis, Jared Dudley, DeMar Carroll, veterans. He gets an all-star year. You put him with not just professionals, you put him in a Golden State locker room with winners, with champs.
How do you think Golden State sees him? As a tradable asset or as the solution?
I think they are happy as heck.
When the executive who made the deal, when the executive who made the deal doesn't come out and say, we don't want to trade D'Angelo, we love this guy. But what is he really saying?
Here's the truth, though, if you're Bob Myers. I do understand there's a level of question with his maturity. So you got to keep D'Angelo at base. Man, we don't want you to get a little too excited, young fella. Let's always explore our options.
Well,
Let's be
D'Angelo
patient
Russell
there.
could definitely be a secondary playmaker with the Warriors in addition to averaging 21.1 points last season. Russell ranked in the top 10 in both assists per game and three-point field goals made. So, Ryan, you're saying keeping him. Max, hand me your sign.
He'd trade him.
Trade him. All right, we're moving on now. Coming up next, LeBron, AD, and maybe
Chris Paul?
CP3. Who knows? Should Chris Paul be wearing purple and gold next season? Don't miss this debate. Coming up next, right here on First Take.
Chris Paul for D'Angelo Russell, bro?
No.
You kidding me?